This is my WrestleMania 27 pay-per-view review. The show as a whole, like going into it, like the card was awkward looking, but it had the potential to be a very good to even great show. If every match was given enough time and just, they didn't hold back, it could have been a very good show. But this show was just overbooked to hell. Too many just pointless backstage segments, just wasting time on the pay-per-view. And not to mention, one match in particular that should have been a 5-minute squash match ended up being a 15-minute actual match. And that, of course, is the Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole match, which was just piss-poor booking throughout. Horrible decision to book it that way. But I'll talk about that when I get to the match. And that's for the rest of the card. The 4 matches that we expected to be good were good to even great. But there's another match, which is the main event with The Miz and John Cena, that, if that was a good match, then it could have saved the show from being a 6.5. It could have made it a 7.5 or even higher. It would have left a better feeling, a better taste in my mouth. It just better feeling overall for the show. But just overbooked, not enough time. Miz looked weak. Cena looked, I don't even care. Like, Cena in the main event again is just, and that took the excitement, going into it, that took the excitement out of the match for me. Seeing John Cena in the main event at WrestleMania for the 7th year in a row. And on top of that, seeing The Miz in the main event of WrestleMania, what made it even worse. And that's kind of hard to do, seeing as how John Cena pissed me off to begin with. So, 2 guys who just either don't deserve to be in the main event at Mania, or just need to get out of the main event at Mania for at least 1 year, were in a match together. So, not good. And the match turned out to be, like I said, boring and overbooked. But the other 4 matches, which were Taker and Triple H, Orton and Punk, Mysterio and Rhodes, and Edge and Alberto Del Rio, were all very good to great to amazing. I would say some disappointment for a couple of those matches, but the Taker and Triple H match, in my opinion, over-delivered. I was expecting maybe a 4-star match out of them. What we got was amazing, and I'll get to that, when I get to that. But anyway, let's run down the card. First match was, surprisingly, the World Heavyweight Championship match with Edge and Alberto Del Rio. I'm led to believe, the reason I believe was that this is the opener was that Edge is forced to retire now. But then again, there's reports saying that they didn't know he was forced to retire. They just got, a test done, and it didn't come back till like a couple weeks afterwards. So, if him retiring wasn't the reason for this being the opener, then just a piss poor decision for it to be the opener. Especially since it was Edge's last match. I think, in my opinion, it should have been maybe either the 5th match, either the 5th match or the second to last match, not the opener. Piss poor decision to make it that way. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus should have been the opener, but because of the stupid, pointless backstage segments they had with guys like Snoop Dogg and Mean Gene Okerlund and Pee Wee Herman, just wasting time, and that match didn't get to be on the card, unfortunately, because that could have actually saved the show as well. But, whatever. But, like I said, that could have been the opener, and this could have been saved for later on in the event, and maybe give this match 16 minutes instead of 11 like it did get. But, what you saw was very good. There were some false finishes with Alberto Del Rio locking in the armbar submission hold. There were a lot of good counters, a lot of good back and forth action. These 2 actually did work well with each other. And there was a good spot with Christian hitting the Tornado DDT on Brodus Clay on the outside. So, at least that made them worthwhile being there. And then Edge hit a spear out of nowhere to finish the match, and Edge did retain the World Heavyweight Championship, surprisingly. My pick was for Del Rio to win. But, cool seeing him actually get a successful title defense at Mania in his last match. Then, post-match, you saw Edge and Del Rio just beat the living balls out of Del Rio's car, so whatever, Ric Flair moment, dropping an elbow on a hood of a car. Cool, I guess. Next match was Rey Mysterio and Cody Rhodes. This had high expectations by literally everybody, almost. And it didn't disappoint. For the time they got, which was like 12 minutes, it was a very good match. I would say give this match maybe like 3 more minutes. It could have been very good to even great. And just the only thing really going against this was time, but more so the crowd it really wasn't into this. They were hot for Cody somewhat, like in the middle of the match. There were Cody Rhodes chants going on, but after that, just like there was no like excitement in the match, which is unfortunate. But you know, it's what you get for having a world title match as the opener. Mysterio came out in a Captain America outfit, so it looked good, I guess. Rhodes did pick up the victory at the end of the match with Crossroads after hitting Mysterio in the head with Mysterio's knee brace when the ref had his back turned. That was a good spot. Rhodes going over, very good. Can definitely help his career out. Hopefully he wins in Extreme Rules as well, but, you know, probably won't happen. They won't have Rey Mysterio lose 2 pay-per-views in a row, but having him win against Rey Mysterio, one of their top guys at Mania, is very good for his career. So, yeah, very good match, about a 3 1/4 star match for this and the opener. Next match was the 8-man tag team match with the Corre and Big Show, Kane, Santino, and Kofi Kingston. Now, considering what this match could have been, I'm glad this only got like a minute and a half, like 90 seconds. Because this could have been horrible. But what it was, you know, there was match moved very quickly. The Corre just basically looked like a bunch of jobbers, but you know, whatever. Santino and Heath Slater started off the match. They did, you know, all right stuff. Then Santino tagged in Big Show. Ezekiel Jackson came in, clotheslined Big Show. Kane hit a diving clothesline off the top on Ezekiel Jackson. Hit Justin Gabriel with the uppercut when he was coming off the top. Then Wade Barrett gave Kane a high boot. Then Kofi Kingston hit Wade Barrett with Trouble in Paradise and dove on the outside onto Ezekiel Jackson and Justin Gabriel. Then Santino hit the Cobra on Heath Slater, and Big Show hit the knockout punch on Heath Slater for the win. So the faces go over, like predicted, and just really a nothing match. It wasn't even 2 minutes, but you know, it was good for what it was. Like, it wasn't nearly as bad as what it could have been. But still, it doesn't mean that it's a good match. About a 1.5 star match. Next match was Randy Orton and CM Punk, and what could have been the match of the night, if not for the No Holds Barred match, because this was very good. If you're not into the kind of slow, methodical matches, then you might not like this as much as I did, but still, it was a very good match. It told a good story with CM Punk working over Randy Orton's knee. Orton got in some offense. The crowd was into this match more so than they were in the Mysterio Rhodes match, so that helped out the match. And the finish came very nicely done. Punk was going for a springboard. Well, before that, Randy Orton tried to hit the RKO on CM Punk, but then he reversed it, threw Orton out, and kind of had like a shocked look on his face because Orton just basically popped up from a beating that Punk gave him. Then he kind of smiled again, you know, the evil smile thing that Punk does anymore. Went for a springboard clothesline. Orton reversed it into an RKO, and 1, 2, 3, Orton wins. I don't mind that Orton wins here, but Punk kind of needs to win at Extreme Rules to keep his momentum going, because having him lose like every pay-per-view isn't helping him out. It's a good thing he's not good on the mic, or else he wouldn't be where he is right now. Because I can't remember the last time he won a pay-per-view match. It's been a while, I think. So that's definitely not something good for Punk and for the WWE, because CM Punk is their top heel right now. He's 9 times better than The Miz. He's better than Del Rio. He's better than almost every superstar within the company right now. And having him lose on every pay-per-view is just a piss poor decision. But having him lose here, I didn't really mind, but he has to win at Extreme Rules. But the match itself told a very good story. A lot of good back and forth action. A lot of nice spots. Great finish. About a 3.5 star match. And then we have the next match with Jerry Lawler and Michael Cole. Like I said, it should have been a 5-minute squash match. Turned out to be a 15-minute match with Michael Cole beating the living balls off of Jerry Lawler. So that's not a good thing. Piss poor booking. Overbooked. Stone Cold kind of helped it out. He's really the only reason I'm even giving it a star, because I was about to give it a dud. Jack Swagger got a stunner. Booker T got a stunner. Josh Matthews got a stunner. So 3 stunners, a beer celebration. And then it turned out Jerry Lawler lost the match by DQ because of interference by Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. That Raw GM, Michael Cole, both of them just need to get the fuck out. Like, they need to just leave. Both of them are just so, like, the Raw GM angle is fucking stupid. I blame Vince and every WWE official for having such a fucking stupid angle. And Michael Cole needs to just die. You know, just have a heart attack. He sucks. So, yeah, 1 star. Piss poor match. Not even worth going into. Next match was a no-holds-barred match with The Undertaker and Triple H, and this was easily the match of the night. It's told a very good story with Triple H doing whatever it took to beat The Undertaker, but in the end, Undertaker prevailed and making Triple H tap out, surprisingly, with Hell's Gate. I was expecting a tombstone finish, but, you know, it was a good finish, because it saw Triple H kind of, like, fighting. It took a while for him to tap out, kind of like at WrestleMania 22 with him and John Cena, you know, if he would have just tapped out all of a sudden in the STFU in that match, that would have hurt the finish. But I didn't really mind it because it did take a while. And, you know, kind of like you saw at Elimination Chamber, too, with Kofi Kingston waiting a while before he started tapping out to the armbar from Del Rio. So, very good finish. Triple H hit 3 tombstones, I think, or rather, a tombstone and 3 pedigrees. And Undertaker kicked out of it all. A lot of good spots with Triple H spearing Undertaker through the coal mine, as they call it. Spinebuster through an announce table, just a very good match all in all. And both of these men could barely walk out after the match. So, very brutal, very entertaining match. 4.5 stars. You have to see it for yourself. Next match was a 6-person mixed tag team match with John Morrison, Trish Stratus, and Snooki versus Dolph Ziggler and LayCool. Very quick match, thankfully, because this could have been something horrible. Trish Stratus and Michelle McCool started off the match. It saw some heat with Michelle McCool and Layla. Whatever. They did some decent stuff in there. Michelle McCool, despite what she may think, isn't that good in the ring. Trish Stratus, very good, but Michelle McCool just didn't really do anything. They did take a huge bump, like a pretty nasty bump on the outside, so I had to give them credit for that. From the top turnbuckle onto the floor, so pretty nasty bump. But then you saw Dolph Ziggler kind of, I don't know, he did something. Then John Morrison hit Starship Pain on the outside to him. That was the only thing you saw from those two, so that was disappointing. But, you know, reports coming in saying that John Morrison didn't really want to work with Stratus because of Melina. Dumb bitch. But, anyway, finish came when Stratus tugged Snooki. Snooki did a cartwheel back splash thing to Michelle McCool in the corner. Then did another, I don't know, splash onto her for the win. Faces go over like expected. Very predictable match. Just nothing much at all, but it wasn't too bad. Snooki did shut up, you know, people booing her in the crowd with her athleticism, whatever. But still, she didn't save the match at all. Like, it looked good while it was going. Like I didn't believe it as a finish. Put it that way. But you kind of didn't really need to believe it as a finish because the match wasn't anything anyway. John Morrison and Dolph Ziggler being put in this match was piss poor decision. They should have had a one-on-one match here, and then have like Trish Stratus, Kelly and Snooki versus LayCool and someone else. Like Snooki shouldn't have been in here. It should have been Kelly, like it was rumored to be. But whatever. 1.5 star match, nothing much. Then we had the main event with the WWE Championship match with The Miz and John Cena. Overbooked to shit. It was slow for the first 5 to 10 minutes. They had 2 what was supposed to be false finishes with Miz hitting the skull crushing finale and John Cena hitting the FU, or the attitude adjustment, whatever you want to call it. Both of them kicked out of those moves, and I actually expected that, so I didn't buy it as a false finish. And then the ending came when Miz tried to escape, Cena speared him over the guardrail, and then they hit their heads on the concrete, or the ice, or whatever. And then it was double count out. The Rock came out, restarted the match after throwing the Raw GM computer, thankfully. Hit the rock bottom on John Cena. The Miz got the pinfall. Then hit the people's elbow on the Miz, making them both look weak. Then the Rock posed and the show ended. Match was just boring to hell throughout. It was overbooked. Randy Orton and John Cena SummerSlam 09, that was overbooked, but that was entertaining, like entertainingly overbooked. This match was just overbooked, not in its favor. About a 2-star match. All the backstage segments really hurt the show. It wasted a lot of time. Daniel Bryan and Sheamus should have been on here. A couple of matches should have got more time. There was only one good backstage segment with The Rock and Stone Cold, but everything else was just piss poor. Overall, about a 6.5 out of 10, and yeah, that's it. Match ratings below.